Hi, Mike Stein from the Center for Teaching Excellence. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the quizzing app Quizizz to find and duplicate pre-made quizzes, create your own quizzes from scratch, play a live quiz game, assign homework for asynchronous quizzing, and view the results. Let's get started. First, let's go to quizizz.com. If this is your first time using Quizizz, click the Sign Up button. Otherwise, click Login here at the bottom. In this case, let's sign up. From here, click Continue with Google. This will allow you to associate your HCC Google account with your Quizizz account, so you don't need to remember a new password. Click Continue with Google, then enter your HCC email, and click Next. Sign in with your HCC username and password, and you'll be brought to the Quizizz dashboard. Now that you're logged in, you can search for quizzes on any topic by clicking in the search bar here. Let's search for a quiz on animal facts. You can see that Quizizz found over 600,000 different quizzes. The more specific your topic is, the more likely it is that you'll get better results here. You can preview quizzes by hovering over the quizzes on the left. On the right side of the screen, you can see how many questions there are in the quiz and the questions and answers in the quiz. Let's select this quiz by clicking on it. If you like the quiz exactly as it is, you can choose to play a live game or assign it as homework, which we'll get to later in this video. However, if you'd like to edit the quiz to add questions or correct an answer, you can click the Copy and Edit button here. This will create a duplicate of the quiz that you will be free to edit for yourself. To edit a question, click the Edit button and type in the fields to edit the question or the answer. When you're finished, click Save to save the question. When you're satisfied with your edits, click Publish to save your quiz. Now let's create a quiz from scratch. To create a brand new quiz, click the Create button, then select Quiz from the list. Give your quiz a name, and select at least one relevant subject. In this case, I'll select Fun, then click Next. From here, you can actually search the questions that are already on Quizizz to add questions to your quiz. However, in this case, let's create a new question. Click on the type of question you'd like to create. Let's choose multiple choice first. Type in the question in the question field, then click in the answer fields to enter your answers. You can also add additional answers by clicking on the Add Answer option button. To delete an option, click the trash can next to the option. To select the correct answer, click on the check mark next to the correct answer. You can also add images to your question by clicking on the Image button at the top right and uploading a question from your computer. You can also enter math equations by clicking on the Math button and using the equation editor to create your problem. At the bottom of the screen, you can change the amount of time allotted to answer each question. In this case, the question by default is set to 30 seconds. However, you can change this to 60 seconds, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or all the way up to 15 minutes. In this case, I'll leave it at 30 seconds. When you're finished, click Save to save your question. You can add another question by clicking on the buttons at the bottom of the screen. You can add a checkbox to allow students to choose multiple answers. Then click Save to save your question. You can also add a fill-in-the-blank question to allow students to type in their own answer. In the answer field, type in all of the possible options students could put that you would accept as a correct answer. For example, in this case, I'll put dog as well as canine. If you need more alternatives, click Add Alternative. When you're finished, click Save. You can also add a poll, which will not have a correct answer. These will always be marked correct. You can also check the box to allow multiple selection to allow students to choose more than one answer. When you're finished, click Save. Quizizz also allows you to add an open-ended question, which will allow students to type in their own answer. These are also ungraded questions and will be marked correct as long as the student submits an answer. You don't need to create any answers here since students will create their own answers. Click Save to save the question. And finally, you can add slides, which will insert content slides between or after your questions. However, clicking this button will export your quiz to a new lesson. This will allow you to add slides. However, your quiz will still be saved as a separate quiz in your library. Let's click Create. You can now see that the quiz looks a little bit different. The first slide is a title slide, which is just the name of the quiz. You can also see that we have all of our 5 questions that we've made so far, and we can now add slides to our quiz. We can continue to add interactive question slides, or we can add any of the templates here on the side. In this case, I'll add a title and bullets. To edit this content slide, use the content editor on the right. To add a title, type in the title field. You can then add bullets to your slide by typing in the bullets field. When you're finished adding slides, click Publish to publish your lesson. Select the language and select the grades. You can also change the visibility to private. However, making the quiz public would allow you to share the link with your students after you give them the quiz either in class or for homework, and would give them the chance to review the quiz on their own time. I'll leave this as public. Then click Publish. Now let's play a live game. To start a live game, click Start a Live Session. You have several options here on this first slide. Turning on the Name Factory will force students to use Quizizz-generated names. This will ensure that students do not use their real names as part of the quiz. You can choose to turn this on or to leave it off. You can also choose to enable or disable the timer depending on what you'd like to do. In this case, I'll enable the timer to make it a little more competitive. You can also enable or disable the leaderboard to show students their rank on the quiz. You may also choose to shuffle the answer options by turning on this switch. Now we're ready to play, so let's click Present. Students can now join the quiz by going to joinmyquiz.com and entering the game code. Let's do this now. Once students have joined, they will see that they're in the quiz. You can also see who has joined at the bottom of the screen. When you're ready to begin the quiz, click Start. Students will be able to see your presentation on their own device, as you can see here. When you're ready to move on, use the arrows at the bottom of the screen to move to the next slide. On bulleted slides, your bullets will appear one by one. On question slides, you will be able to see who has answered the question. If we go back to the student view, we can see that we can now select an answer as a student. In this case, I'll select elephant. Back on the instructor slide, we can wait for the timer to run out, or when all students have finished, it will show that everyone has answered. Then you will see the leaderboard. You can click again to skip. You will then see the breakdown of all of the answers students have given. In this case, I only had one student answer, and they were correct. This is a good place to discuss incorrect answers and explain why the correct answer is correct. When you're ready, click Next Slide or click the next arrow. And you'll see the next question on the quiz. When you get to the final slide in your presentation, Quizizz will tell you that this is the last slide and ask you if you want to end the lesson. Click Yes to end the lesson. You will then see the top scores. Click View Reports to view the reports of the quiz. You can see the overall accuracy of the class as well as the number of participants who played in the quiz. You can also see individual participants and their scores by clicking on their name. Now let's set up the quiz so that students can play asynchronously on their own time. Click on My Library to view your lessons and quizzes. Click on the quiz you'd like to assign as homework. Click Assign Homework, and then set a due date. In this case, I'll set the due date for August 11th. Then click Continue. Students can either go to joinmyquiz.com and enter the code, or you can click the Share Link button to copy the link to your clipboard and post it into Canvas or send it as an email. When a student joins the quiz, they will see a similar format. They will click Start, and they will be able to go through the quiz on their own. And they will be able to go through the quiz or lesson on their own. When they're finished, they can either start over or review the quiz. And they will be able to see what the correct answers were. On the instructor side, if you go to Reports, click on the quiz that you assigned as homework. Scrolling down, you can see the number of people who have played your quiz, as well as their accuracy and their score. You have now successfully created a quiz in Quizizz and played a live game as well as assigned a quiz for homework. Thanks for watching.